welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. As you can see, Randy Cooper, our normal animal wrangler, is still feeling a little bit under the weather this week, so hopefully he is going to be back next week, but filling in for him today is one of our administrative staff. This is Aspen Tressler, and joining us is a superstar. We have Beyonce with us this morning. First thing, Beyonce is 7 to 9 months old, and she's a pit bull mix, and as you can see, she is all puppy. She's already tearing into that tire. She's got a lot of energy. She's bouncing in the room when she came in the room today. So because she is a puppy, we are adopting her out through our puppy process, which means that we're going to take up to 4 applications for her, and then we are going to adopt her to the family that's the best fit for her. We want to make sure that everyone who's adopting puppies from us is capable of taking on the task of training them. They don't know anything. They're relying on us to teach them the proper ways to behave. So things like only chewing on acceptable things like toys, walking well on the leash, being house trained, not jumping on your counters. All of those things are important that she needs you to teach her so that she's going to become the dog that you want her to be. As far as the assessment that we've done on her, she is very friendly. She reacts favorably to other dogs. She's easy to obtain. She does pull a little bit when she's walking on the leash. As always, we would just recommend if you have a dog that does that you're using a harness, because that's more beneficial for you and for the dog. She does know a few things. She knows sit and down, and she's very treat motivated. She takes the treats very nicely. All in all, she's just a very sweet dog who's looking for a new forever home. Because she is a puppy, we're adopting her out for our puppy fee, which would be $150. That fee includes spaying and neutering, rabies vaccinations, county licenses, other vaccinations and preventatives that we provide, and microchipping registration, and it also comes with a free well visit to a vet. There are about 40 vets that participate with us, and any one of the vets on the list that we have and provide for our adopters, those vets will provide that free well visit to, check incision sites, make sure those things are healing well, go over any questions you might have, when their next vaccinations are due, all of those types of things. So if you're interested in adding Beyonce to your family, if you're crazy in love with Beyonce, you can visit her here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. We're located at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. Our next guest is Lacey. Lacey is another puppy that we have on the adoption floor. She's a little bit older than Beyonce, coming in at 10 months old. She's a tricolor pit bull mix. She has beautiful markings, beautiful coloring. She's just a gorgeous dog. Overall, she's very soft. One of the things that we've noticed about Lacey, even just since she's walked in for the show, is that she's a little bit shy. She's a little timid. But as you can see, when you're calm around her, she warms up pretty quickly. She jumped right in Aspen's lap, wanted to get some cuddles. She is just going to maybe be a little more cautious and take a little more time to warm up to you in your home. Because of that, you might want to be, giving her a little bit longer than you would give some other dogs to warm up in your home so that they feel more comfortable. When you're taking home a dog, I always tell the people that I'm doing my adoption interviews with to give the dogs 10 days to 2 weeks where you're not really having a lot of people at your house, so that the dogs can settle in and feel comfortable and confident in your home and with you before you start introducing them to a lot of other new places and new people, just because we don't want them to be overwhelmed. We want to make sure that they're continuing to show the great personalities and demeanors that you fell in love with them at the shelter. We don't want to put them in a position where they might feel uncomfortable and react in a way that maybe you're not approving of. So you would definitely want to give them time to settle in and become comfortable. In our assessment of Lacey here at the shelter, much like Beyonce, she's friendly. She reacts favorably to other dogs when they're calm. If other dogs bark a lot at Lacey, then Lacey will bark back at them. She's easy to obtain. She doesn't have issues with food aggression. She really, as you can see, loves to be petted and cuddled with. So if you're looking for just a big cuddle bug, Lacey would be an excellent choice for you. She's jumping up nicely into Aspen's lap too. So she's not, bouncing. She's got a very calm, quiet nature about her. So she's going to be great for any family. But again, you just want to give her that time to warm up so that she's going to continue to be like this. We don't want her to feel uncomfortable in any way, especially when they're shy dogs. This is Leia, and she is 1 year old, so we're taking a break away from the puppies today with our next guest. She is also a lab mix. She's black and white. We do know we have extensive vet records for Leia. She came to us because the owner just didn't have enough time for her and didn't think that it was fair for her not to have as much interaction with people and an opportunity to go out. So they did the responsible thing by bringing her to us so that we could then find her a home where she was going to be able to get more of that attention. So they brought us all of her vet records. Because of that, we do know that at some point in her life, she had a broken leg, and she's now fully recovered from that. So that's just something that you want to be aware of, but it's something that's not an issue for Leia. Leia has been with other dogs. She's been around children that are aged 8 and up. Apparently, according to her previous owner, she loves to play fetch and tug of war. So she's got a very playful demeanor. She's going to be good with your kids. Some things that she has going for her, she's used to all of the normal, dog maintenance type stuff, vet checks, riding in the car, those types of things. But she does have a few things that she needs to work on. She can be a bit of a chewer, a roamer, wanderer, jumper, those types of things. All things that you could work on and have her trained not to do. She is treat motivated, as you can see. So, and she's very smart and able to learn things. So, if you're willing to put in the time to train her to avoid chewing on those things, that's going to be something that she would be able to do relatively quickly. As far as what we know about her, she's very friendly. She has no reaction with other dogs. She's easy to obtain. She, too, is one of those dogs that could be a bit of a puller, so we would recommend that harness for her. She willingly lets go of objects, so if she decides to grab your kid's Barbie by the hair, she's going to let go when you ask her to do that. She's also loves to be petted and touched. She loves to be cuddled with. She doesn't seem to be as interested as maybe Lacey was, but there's a lot of new smells in here, and so she's very interested in what's going on. But overall, Leia is a great dog. It's going to make a great addition to any home. If you want to visit her, you can see her 6 days a week at Frederick County Animal Control. And we're back to the puppy parade. This is Icy, and he's generally what people are thinking of when they're thinking of puppies. He's much smaller. He's about 3 months old. He is a Sable Husky mix. What we're looking for Icy's new adoptive family is going to be first and foremost somebody that has Husky experience. Huskies have their own set of traits, and we want to make sure that the person who is adding Icy to their family is going to understand how to properly introduce Icy to other people, other animals. Definitely going to make sure that they're getting them socialized. Another really important thing is making sure that they're going to get enough exercise. This breed has a high energy. They need to have places to run and get out all of that energy so that they're not going to be making messes in your house, doing those types of things because they have no outlet for all of that. So our goal in adopting out any of our animals is making sure that they're going to go to good homes where they're going to get the best possible care. So that's why we are looking for somebody who's going to have experience with the Husky breed. Because Icy is so young, his personality and behavior aren't really set, so we don't have that normal behavior assessment that we would have for the other dogs because up until they're about 6 months, you really just don't know. When the animals become 6 months old, that's when we really start filling out those assessments for them. We do, however, have a profile that the previous owner filled out. It doesn't look like they actually had him for very long before their situation changed and they were no longer able to keep him, but they did give us some indications of things that you can look forward to with Icy. It says he has been around other dogs. It looked like they had an older Rottweiler that he had been around, so he is experienced to a certain degree with other animals, and he's also been around some children. 8 and 6 is, it looks like the ages for those kids. It looks like they started to crate and house train him, but with puppies, especially puppies this young, you know, that's something that he's going to need to be working on. And also, we never make any guarantees that any of our dogs are house trained when they come into the shelter, so that's definitely something that you have to be willing to work on when you are taking on any animal that's been in the shelter for any length of time. He is a jumper, as you can see. He's very playful. He does walk pretty well on the leash, from what I can see for a dog as young as he is. But he is a puppy. He does not know sit, he does not know down, he does not know stay. He doesn't know any of those things. So he's really relying on you, his new potential owners, to teach him all of those important things and to get him trained to the level that you want him to be. The last guest that we have for you on the dog portion of our show is Sharpay. She's a pit bull mix. She's tan and white. She's approximately 1 year old. We do have her listed as older children or adult home only. One of the primary reasons for that is that Sharpay is a little shy. She does not like things, fast movements, especially around her face. So a lot of younger kids are going to be running around. They're going to be, you know, moving around very quickly. That might frighten Sharpay. So we want to make sure that she's going to go to a home where she doesn't have to worry about those things. One of the first things that you probably will notice about Sharpay is that she does have some old scars on her body. Those things have all healed over. Those are all superficial things. She has a very sweet personality. She loves affection, so you shouldn't discount her because maybe on the surface she's not the most beautiful dog at the shelter. She really does have that sweet personality. At a year old, she still has a fair amount of puppy in her. You know, we're trying to get her to do some things today. It doesn't seem like she knows a lot of things like sit, down. So those are all skills that her new owners are going to have to work with on her. According to her previous owner, they say that she's house trained and crate trained, but again, we don't make any guarantees about those things when you're taking home a shelter dog. Says that she's playful, she's friendly, she's used to normal dog maintenance, nail trims, baths, riding in the car. She walks pretty well on the leash, but she could benefit from a harness just because she does have a little bit of strength to her. She's very friendly. As you can see, she is a jumper, so if you have kids in your home, that's definitely something that you might want to be working with her on, so that even an older child, you know, usually we say that's 12 and up, she might be able to knock them down a little bit. So you just want her to know that it's not okay to be jumping up on visitors that you have in your home or your family members. But again, she's a very sweet dog. She's just a little maybe rough around the edges, needs a little bit of manners training, but she is treat motivated. She takes the treats fairly nicely, so she has a lot of potential. If you're interested in you know, helping her reach her full potential and become the best version of herself, you can visit Sharpay at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. So that's going to wrap it up for the canine portion of our show today. After the break, we're going to have 5 new additions to the cat floor.
Join Frederick County Parks and Recreation for some hands-on cooking classes at the Ballinger Creek Community Building in Frederick, Maryland. Some of the classes offered include cooking with your kids in our parent and child programs, have a night with your significant other in our date night classes, learn cuisines from around the world, or learn some basic cooking techniques. For more information, visit us at recreator.com or call 301-600-2936. We'll see you in the kitchen.
Welcome back. The first feline that we have for you is handsome Sawyer. He is approximately 1 year old, his personality is much more defined than the kittens that most people are looking for this time of year. So you kind of know more what you're getting for. With kittens, it's always kind of a mixed bag, but he still is young enough that he has a lot of that playful energy as well. He is a domestic shorthair. He's a gray tabby. He's got gorgeous markings. He's got a very strong, kind of interesting face. And he was brought to us because kind of a common problem. It says allergies, but they also said that Sawyer was scratching on their couch. Now, cats are going to scratch as part of their natural behavior. They're doing it to mark their scent, mark their territory. It's just something that they do. We want them to be able to do that because that's part of, you know, cat instinct and behavior. The important thing is to channel that behavior in an appropriate way. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to be very structured with the discipline for Sawyer when you get him home. You want to make sure that he knows that scratching on your furniture and those types of things is unacceptable. The way that we would encourage people to do that is using the spray bottle method. So if you have a spray bottle, fill it with water, and every time he's doing something that you disapprove of, then you want to give him a no and you want to spray him. The water's not going to hurt him, he just doesn't like it. If water for some reason doesn't work for him, you can use noise as a deterrent as well. Get a bottle, fill it with coins or something, and then shake that. But you also, the same side of that, you want to make sure you have lots of scratching pads and posts in the house. And you want to give him positive reinforcement when he's using those things. When he's doing good things, you want to reward him for that. So then he'll want to continue to do those things to get the reward and to please you. So you can use treats, you can use affection, you can use verbal praise, any of those types of things to kind of help with getting him to scratch on the appropriate materials. But that's something that's a common cat issue. You shouldn't disregard Sawyer because he has that in his past. Many cats have that issue. He loves to play. He's been around babies and toddlers and children. He's okay with strangers. He's independent but also a lap cat. Right now he's kind of trying to see what's going on. A little curious about the dog treats that were on the table. So he's got a lot of great things going for him. He's going to be a great family pet. If you're interested in visiting with the handsome Sawyer, you can do that here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. Our next guest is Picasso, and he's one of the kittens that we have available for adoption right now. A lot of this, we have recently been getting in tons of kittens. However, most of those kittens that people are looking for, the 3 to 4 month old kittens, we don't have those yet. They're still underage and they're in foster care. But what we do have a lot of is older kittens on the adoption floor right now. Picasso is one of those. He is 7 to 9 months old. He is a domestic medium hair. He's got that great tuxedo cat coat, and he's got that nice defined white stripe down his face, the little white socks on his feet. He's just a gorgeous cat. He came to us as a stray, so we're still learning about Picasso and his behavior. He is kind of a silly guy, and when you walk by his cage, he's always kind of doing something, laying in a weird way. The other day he had totally knocked over he'd finished his food and knocked over his bowls, and they were all upside down. So he's just a silly kitten. Even though he's bigger in size, he still has a lot of that behavior. As you can see, he's kind of moving around, looking around. He's curious about what's going on, but he's not, doesn't seem to be really doing a lot of fighting to get down. He's kneading on Aspen's lap, so he's really comfortable in this situation, which is new to him. Loving the attention that he's getting. He was not a fan of getting in the cat carrier, so we actually had to carry him out here in a towel. So something that you might want to work on with him as far as making it easier to get him to and from the vet and those types of things. Just leaving the cat carrier out, making it a positive place for the cats, leaving the door open, putting a nice bed in there, giving them some treats while they're in there. Those types of things will make it easier when you're trying to get them in there. Also, top loading carriers are really beneficial because instead of trying to put them in through the front, you can just open the top and set them right inside and then close the top up again. Picasso, again, very sweet, still learning things about him. So when you come in and visit, you can let us know what you've learned about him, because maybe Picasso's not the perfect fit for you, but that information might help us find the best fit for him. Our next guest is Shayla. She is another one of the stray cats that we have on the adoption floor right now. We've aged her at 2 to 3 years old. She's a gray domestic shorthair. She is a beautiful, beautiful cat. I was actually in the room while they were processing her to go on the adoption floor, so I was able to learn a little bit about her. She loves to be petted, and she actually has a really high threshold. It took a while to do stuff. She didn't seem to be that upset when she was getting vaccinated. She was okay until we had to stop and bring a dog in to put her away in her carrier and bring a dog in to do some microchipping for that dog, and then she kind of started to be a little more stressed out when the dog was in the room. So that might be something to think about if you have a dog at home and you're thinking about adding Shayla to your family. She might either take time to warm up to the dog or just might not like the dog at all based on that experience. She is front declawed, so that's going to mean definitely that Shayla needs to be an indoor cat. We always advocate that for the health of and the well-being of your cat, but some people do indoor-outdoor. Shayla would then not have any of her primary defense if she were to get outside, no real way to defend herself. So it's really important that her new owners are going to be keeping her inside and keeping her safe. If people are looking for a cat that they want to declaw, we don't advocate that here because it can be something that's has a negative impact on your cat. It can be very painful for them. It can alter their behavior. Shayla seems to have come out of that relatively unscathed. So if you're looking for a cat that you want to declaw, we would then encourage you not to do that, but maybe to adopt one of the cats that we already have that are came to us declawed. Shayla would be one of those cats. Piper is also a cat on our adoption floor that's declawed. Spike as well, declawed. So those are things that you want to think about. Shayla is very sweet. She seems to be very independent. She kind of just doesn't want to sit still. She wants to walk around and see what's going on. But she does also seem to really enjoy being petted. So maybe not a lap cat, but maybe a cat that wants to kind of hang out next to you and sit and watch TV with you, play with you a little bit. She's younger than many of the other cats that we have that are declawed on the floor, so she's still going to have a lot of that youthful energy, want to play and do those types of things. If you're interested in adding Shayla to your home, you can stop by and visit her here at Animal Control. If you're a frequent visitor to the shelter or you keep up on our social media, our next guest might be a familiar face to you. This is now Kaylee, but a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, when she was here before, she was April. Kaylee was adopted into a family, and she did really well with all of the people in the house. She loved attention. She loved the affection. They have great things to say about her in that regard, but unfortunately, Kaylee just could not get along with the other cat in the house, despite a lot of effort to make it work. Kaylee just kept being kind of the aggressor with the other cat in the house. So unfortunately, her owners did what was best for their family, their other animals, and Kaylee by bringing her back to us so that we could find her maybe a home that's going to be better suited for her. So she is just 11 months old, so again, one of those older kittens that we have available for adoption. And we have here on her paperwork that she prefers to be the only cat. So that's going to make things a lot easier for someone who's taking her home. You don't have to worry about whether or not she's going to get along with the other animals in your house. The previous owner did fill out a profile, again saying that she's great with people, but she's just a little bit territorial with the other animals in the house. She's going to be, the alpha cat. She wants to be the queen of the castle, so to speak. She's very playful, she's friendly, she can be nervous and shy around strangers, so it might take her a little bit of time to warm up to your family. She did come from us, so we do, she's already spayed, she's been microchipped, she's had her recent vaccinations, her distemper, her rabies vaccine, and we again gave her some more dewormer and flea and tick preventative, so she's all set on those types of things. So she's being a little chatty, so she makes some cute little noises there. She seems to have settled in on Aspen's lap. She's kind of cooing. I don't know if you can hear it, but she's really happy to be petted. Again, getting that attention. She's still under a year old, so she's got a lot of that playfulness to her. She's going to be a great addition to any family, but again, she wants to be the only pet in your family. So if you're interested in visiting with Kaylee, or maybe you missed out on her when she was here before, she's back and you have a second chance to adopt this beautiful cat. The last guest that we have for you today is Rain. She's another gray tabby that's available for adoption here on our floor. She is 2 to 3 years old approximately. Again, she came to us as a stray, like some of the other cats we've seen on the show today, so we don't know that much about her. We're still figuring things out. She seems right now to be a little shy. That could be just because she's new to the adoption floor and is still settling in, or that could just be her nature in general. She seems to be content sitting on Aspen's lap right now. She's kind of hiding her face, showing that she's a little shy, but she's not trying to escape. She's not looking distressed in any way. She is very sweet. I was interacting with her in her cage the other day. She was okay with being, petted. She then decided that she was bored with me and would rather eat. So we ended our visit, but she's got a lot of potential. She is a beautiful cat. We have her down as a gray tabby, but she's kind of has like a taupe color to her. So she's got very interesting markings and coloring. She is going to be adopted for our normal cat and kitten adoption fee, which would be $97.50. That includes all the things that we've talked about on the show today: rabies vaccination, county license, microchipping, well visit, all of those other vaccination preventatives, and the different dewormer and flea and tick preventative. All that stuff is covered for that $97.50, which is really the best price in town. If you just wanted to get her in to see the vet, it could be that much. Not only are you getting a good price for your adoption fee, but you also get the the great feeling of knowing that you're rescuing an animal that is currently homeless and really needs that love and attention that you're going to be able to provide for her. As animals age here, they do get reductions in their adoption fees. Because Rain is only 2 to 3 years old, she doesn't qualify for any of those, but animals that are 5 to 9 get a $20 discount, and animals that are 10 to 14 then get a $40 discount, and the animals that are 15 and up get a $60 reduction in their adoption fee. We do have several events coming up. We're going to be having our open house Memorial Day weekend, so if you're interested in learning more about the shelter and having some fun with your family, you can stop by and visit with us on Saturday, May 27th. Thanks for watching, and we hope that you'll tune in next week where we have 10 more adoptable pets available for you here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center.